Listen, if you want to make money hand over fist, you need to be networking. And we're going to tell you today how networking makes you money. See, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, what can talking with people, getting to know people, learning about what they do, and sharing what you do is going to make you money? What about that makes you money? But let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a little story. Kadika, do you remember how we got, I want to say, our seventh sponsor? That sounded very vague. But let me tell you, we always have been putting up posts on Instagram and nonstop. We're putting up posts. And when you're putting up posts, you don't even know what you're doing. You're just putting up posts and thinking like, okay, I hope somebody finds our brand and I hope somebody like clicks. I hope somebody like likes it. I hope somebody puts a comment. I hope. Well, listen, on Instagram, we built a whole community. And not only that, we built a whole new community, we built a page, we built a following. And on top of that, building a following, we ran into other vendors who cater to customers that we cater to. Here we are doing our own thing, posting what we post, telling people about our beauty services because remember that? We told people that we have a beauty makeup service. Now we're letting people know, like, here we have this service, and this vendor reached out and was just like, you know what? I do this. I like what you do. I throw parties. Now, I know to you, you may think, what does parties have to do with makeup? Yeah. Well, you're catering to the same customer. So I don't care what the hell you selling. As long as you're catering to the same customer, it works out for us. This vendor was like, oh, I have a event that I want you to do. Long story short, it didn't work out. But we stayed in contact because clearly that vendor likes what we do. They like what we're about, and they like our following. They like our business. They like everything. And we stayed in contact too because hey, we like a little party here and there too. Long story short, we spent like must be 6, 7 months just spending money on Google ads, spending money on Facebook ads, trying to spending time DMing, trying to get sponsors for another event that we were doing. And all we were getting was crickets. So we managed to get 6 sponsors though. But let me tell you something, that seventh sponsor was the same vendor who reached out to us about his parties. This same vendor came and dropped, not only dropped like maybe I want to say 4 or 5 customers in our pocket, but also dropped $500 in our pocket to sponsor, to be a sponsor of our event. Now, while you're thinking, oh, that is not a lot of money, or maybe you're thinking it is a lot of money. But to us, any money is good money. As long as you are able to have a brand, back it up, and still be able to promote and give us a nice network to increase our network, that is good money. And if we tap into our network online, because we have over 100K followers, so if we were able to tap into our network and really keep in contact with all the vendors that we have been keeping in contact with all that we have going on, that's $500 nonstop, every time, all the time, just fist over fist without having to do extra work. Kanika, come on now. I know you remember that one event company that reached out to us. Well, as a matter of fact, you remember that event company that gave us 50 something customers? Go ahead.
Let's take you back through memory lane. And during the pandemic of 2020, Keisha, you and I chose to pivot because we said we were going to stay in business and we were going to help businesses, right? We
Hmm.
went in there and that was our why. That was what we were doing and we were networking hard. So in the midst of us networking and reaching out and trying to stay connected, we were hosting virtual events. We were hosting virtual events, reaching out to different vendors, reaching out to different businesses, small businesses in our community throughout the US of A, everywhere. And this one lady. God bless her heart. She
Mm,
got connected with us through our virtual events and she stayed in contact. We stayed in contact with each other. And when we were able to emerge from the our cocoons of our households and
yep.
we started hosting in-person events, who was the first one to show up and say, boom, this is what I want to do with you. I want to work with you. It was her. And
Yes.
and why did that work? Why was that so good? Not only did she remember us, but she stayed in contact when we stayed in contact. So she reciprocated the communication that we were having. But then
Mm-hmm.
she also said, you know what? I know you host these beauty events. I got customers for you. I host travel events. And she would funnel the women who will sign up for her travel events to our makeup events. Tell me that
Yes.
is not one hand washing the next hand. That's what
Yes.
it is.
Yes. And I'm talking about 50 customers that she sent our way. To be exact, because I know that sounds like so round, but to be exact, it was 55 customers she sent our way. 55 customers. And, on the great scheme of things, like we usually cater to 200 customers. So that was 25% of our customer base that she sent, that she gave us without us having to spend more money to advertise and get customers through our door. Are you kidding me? OMG. Let's just recap here in case you missed it. First of all, if you are networking, then you are building trust with someone because vendors are not going to send you no 50 customers if they don't trust you, if they don't believe in your service or your product, and if they don't like you as a person, period. You have to understand that in order for you to get to these riches, to this money, to whoever wants to refer you, they gotta trust you. They gotta believe that you're gonna do what you say you do, and just feel that their customers are in good hands. Keep on doing what you're doing, girl. Keep on doing, cause Kanika.
Yes. But Keisha, let's make this actionable for those who are listening, right?
Okay.
Because they still may have missed it. So how does this look for you? One, you need to keep showing up. You may be thinking that no one is listening, but there are people watching, there are people listening, there are people that is just observing you because they want to see what type of person are you? Well, who do you stand for?
Mhm.
What are your values? If they don't align with your values, then they are not going to want to network with you, let alone send their customer that they've established trust with to you. Who are you as a person? Do you follow up with what you say you're going to do? If you say you're going to send an email on Monday, do you send that email? If
On
you
Monday.
say that you're going to, exactly, on Monday, if you say you're going to join them for a conference call, a Zoom call, any type of virtual video call, at the time that you agree to, do you show up? You're showing that is how you're building trust. You're a
Mhm.
woman of your word. You're a man of your word. So they
Mhm.
know that when they tell their customer that you are going to show up the same way for their customer that they send their way. When it's time for you to collaborate on the terms of the sponsorship, do you hold true to your end? If you say, I'm going to post your event on our social media platform, whichever platform it may be, X amount of times, do you fulfill the obligations that you agree to? All of this is building up to you getting more connections and making more money because that's what we're all about here. We're about making
Yeah.
that money.
For all of you newbies who are not networking yet, get on it because Kanika just gave you some actionable items, and we need to see that our whole small black business community is up on it. Head over to 3popupshop.com and see who else you could be networking with and making that money today. All right, later.